Hi friends, I'm Betsy. Welcome to Yogahour. Today we are practicing Yogahour sequence 1. And the word of the day is 1. Take it one pose at a time. Join me to start in downward facing dog. On your yoga mat, hands about shoulder distance apart. Have the knees a little back from the line of the hips. And then tuck the toes and lift on up. Use your breath. Find your way in this very first pose of class. Pedal out your feet. Shake the head a bit, yes and no. This is the version of the practice in which I'll mostly just say the name of the pose, some instruction to get in and out of each. One pose at a time today. Sequence 1, Yogahour. Breathe in, breathe out. Look in between your hands and step all the way to the front end of your yoga mat. Leave the feet hip distance apart. Bent knee forward fold. Hold on to your elbows. Let it be. Again, one breath, one pose at a time. Place the hands to your hips, point the elbows to the sky, press down into your feet, come all the way up to standing. Mountain pose, bring the feet a little closer together, extend the arms down by your side, turn the palms in. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms, lift the arms up to the sky, press through your thumb and your first finger. Summit pose, reach to the top. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees again, touch fingertips to the ground. Plank pose, step back, one line from head to your heels. Make the arms straight. Squeeze the glutes, lengthen the tailbone, tone the belly. Lower flat down to your yoga mat, locust pose, hands bound. Interlace the hands behind your back. Lift everything up here. Locust pose. On your exhale, lower down. Place the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here in down dog. Step your right foot in between your hands. Come up for high lunge, arms to the sky. Leave the back heel lifted, pull it forward right over the toes. Lower your hands, step back to plank. Stay in plank or add 1 push-up. Go back to downward facing dog. And step your left foot in between your hands, come up to high lunge. Take 1 breath here. Lower the hands again, step back to plank. Again, hold plank or add a push-up, down and up. Everyone downward facing dog. 1 breath here. Step your right foot forward in between the hands. This time, spin your back heel down, but still point the toes mostly towards the front. Take both hands to the inside. And walk the hands straight out in front. Down dog lunge, and we're working long line front to back here for down dog lunge. Bring the hands back in, around the front foot, pick up the back heel, step forward, and then step back, second side. Spin the right heel down. Bring both hands to the inside of your foot. Down dog lunge, second side. Walk the hands as far straight out in front. The legs should feel like warrior one here, and the extension from fingertips towards the hips like downward facing dog. Bring the hands back in, around the front foot. Step forward, bent knee forward, fold. Stand up, mountain pose. That was our first warm-up set. We have 2 more warm-up sets. I'll grow the pace a little bit faster here. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, touch down. Step back to plank and lower flat down against your mat. Hands behind your head. Inhale, lift everything that you can up away from the mat. Lower down, downward facing dog. Step your right foot in between the hands. Lift up, high lunge. Take a breath. Lower the hands down, step back to plank. Add the push-up in between. Down dog. Step the left foot forward. Come upright, high lunge. Take a breath. Again, lower the hands down, plank pose. You hold or add the push-up in between each time. Go back to dog pose. Step the right foot forward. Bring the hands up to your front thigh. And then twisted lunge, palms together, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Inhale, come back to center, switch sides, step the left foot forward and the right foot back. Walk the hands up to your front thigh. Prayer hands and twist. Right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Untwist. Set the hands down again, step forward, front of the mat. Stand up, mountain pose. Third warm-up set. Interlace the hands, lift the palms, push through your thumb and first finger back to summit pose here. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees so that you can touch the floor. Step back to plank. A little different. Lower the knees down, lower the chest and chin down for 8-point pose. Lower flat against the mat now. Stretch the arms out in front of you. Superhero, lift everything that you can up away from the mat. Lower it down. Press up and back to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. It's that faster set of high lunge, arms to the sky here. Lower the hands, step back, add the push-up in between. Or don't. Down dog. Left foot forward. Come upright. One breath. Lower the hands. Through the push-up. Down dog. Step the right foot forward. Like the first warm-up set, spin the back heel down. This time, bring your hands up to your front thigh. Either stay and work here, or interlace the hands behind the back. Extend the arms. Again, stay and work here, or head down, arms up. No handed lunge. Lower the hands around the front foot, switch sides, step forward, and then step the right foot back. Spin back heel down. Steady in the legs, bring the hands up to your front thigh. Stage 1. Interlace the second favorite finger behind your back, extend the arms, stage 2. Or head down, arms up, stage 3 of no handed lunge. Release the hands down to the ground. Step forward to the front of your mat. Stand up. Mountain pose. Moving from our warm-ups into our standing pose set. Take a stance in the middle of your mat and a wide stance. Extend the arms out so that wrists and ankles drop right about on top of each other. Turn your right foot out. Gaze out over the right fingertips, triangle pose, reach as far as you can, and then lower right hand down to your leg or the floor, top arm to the sky. Make the arms and legs straight. Breathe here. Again, today I'm giving us some instruction to get in and out of the pose, trying to leave aside the further depth of practice so that you can really feel how the body works in each pose. As we move through our month in this practice of sequence 1, Yogahour, you'll find a little bit more. Second side, triangle pose. Inhale, come all the way upright. Turn the toes parallel to each other, fingertips together. Step or jump back into the center. Fingertips together, bend the knees, step or jump wide. Turn the right toes out, bend the right knee. Take elbow to knee and top arm palm down overhead for extended side angle, but elbow to knee. Stay lifted, elbow to knee, so that there's plenty of room to reach, breathe, and stretch here. Next, inhale, come upright in the torso, straighten the right leg, move to your second side. Bend the left knee, elbow to the knee or thigh, top arm overhead. Come back upright, straighten the legs, turn the feet parallel, fingertips together, step or jump in. 2 more wide-legged starts like this. Fingertips together, bend the knees, step or jump wide. Go back to the first side, warrior 2. This time, take the right hand all the way down to the floor, step in, and then up for half moon pose. Lift the back leg higher than the hip and wide. Top arm to the sky. Slowly lower. Come across the center. Switch the direction of your feet. Through warrior 2, take the left hand down. Step in and up. Half moon pose or Ardha Chandrasana on the second side. Make use of the variations, modifications that will find you in your best half moon. Maybe it's a bent standing leg. Maybe it's fingertips under some height of a yoga block. That is your job. Find how it works best in your body. Go back. Straighten the legs, turn the feet parallel, fingertips in, step or jump all the way. Again, fingertips, bend the knees, step or jump wide. Turn the right toes out. Warrior 2, just warrior 2. Shoulders, hips over one another. Look out past the top fingertips. How does the pose feel? Straighten the leg, turn the feet. Back toes straight ahead, front toes 90-degree turn out. Bend the knee over the line of the ankle. Use your inner wisdom of just this one pose. Straighten the leg, turn the toes parallel, fingertips in. Ready? Step or jump all the way to the center. Little bit of a shakeout. This takes us into a standing balance series. You want to stand in the center of your mat still and take your arms out in a T shape. Lift the right knee up and into the chest. Take the right hand to the front of the shin and try to lift higher. From here, keep there or take hold of your big toe with the first two fingers and thumb. Stay in this stage or extend the leg out and up slightly to the side. Chest lifted, crown of the head towards the sky. Bend the lifted knee if it was straight and lower down. Second side, start with the arms out in a T shape. Lift the left knee, hold the front of the shin. In the first stages, you'll stay here and take the knee out to the side. Working there, or hold on to the big toe, arm to the inside. Working there, or go towards a straight, strong leg. Tone the muscles to the bone. Bend the knee, lower it all the way back down. Similar but different, still standing on one leg for the next balance pose. Arms straight out in front of you, let the palms face in. Lift the right knee up into the chest. This time take the chest down to the thigh and hold behind your foot. Work here, or stretch the right leg straight. Two or towards straight. Steady focus, steady breath. Bring it all the way back in and down. Wobbles, bobbles happen. You come out of the pose. It's gone. One pose at a time, one side at a time. Lift the left knee. Another variation is to hold under the thigh. Work to or towards straight. Stand on 2 feet. Lift the arms straight up towards the sky. Be as tall as you can. Stay as is, but bend your knees to sit into the thighs. Utkatasana, power pose, chair pose. Stand back up, bring the hands to the hips. Separate your feet about hip distance apart. Bend the knees and tilt your torso more forward, more towards a 90-degree angle. With the weight just on the right leg, point left toes behind you. Extend the arms straight out in front. Stay in this version of Warrior 3 or lift the back leg up. Lower the leg, hands to the hips, stand up. Second side, rebend the knees, tilt the torso. I have my standing leg bent the whole time to allow more ease in hamstrings and low back. Lift the leg. Work to keep the hips as square as possible, even if that standing leg goes straight. And bring it all back in. Stand up. Travel to the very front of your yoga mat. Twisted triangle. Pavrita Trikonasana is next. Do these stages with me. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Get all of your length here. Exhale, forward fold. Keep the right foot forward. Step your left foot back into your full low lunge. Shorten the stride by about 1 foot. Spin the back heel down so that you can have 2 straight legs. Bring the hands up to the hips. Square the hips. Like you just did in Warrior 3, extend. Arms out in front, but just the left arm. We'll take everything from here as add-ons in the pose. Take them or leave them. Hand down, big toe side. Hand switches over, pinky toe side. Lift the right hip more up and back to create space and lengthen the spine. Lift the right arm to the sky. Turn the belly to get the twist here in the torso. Stay in the pose. Walk yourself out of the pose, stage by stage. Little bend in the knees, step forward. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Even less instruction on the second side. Keep the left foot forward, step the right foot back. Set up, pyramid. Hinge forward, right arm out. Add your twist. Carefully come out of the pose. Step both feet to the front of the mat. Again, inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Downward facing dog. Step the feet all the way back. 5 full breaths right here, down dog. Look in between your hands and step your right foot forward to low lunge. Bring both hands to the inside of your foot. Heel toe the right foot a little wider out to the side. Humble warrior, stay and work here or go lower down, as low as to the forearms. Keep the right knee straight ahead. All 5 toes on the right foot, straight ahead. Back knee lifted, back leg is straight, strong as possible. Come back up to the hands, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, hands to the inside, heel toe the left foot. So you're using about the width of your yoga mat to come down to forearm lunge. Forearm lunge names a little bit more of the shape of the pose. Humble warrior, I like as we bow in. Again, come back up through dog pose. Switch again to the first side, right foot forward. This time, as the hands come to the inside and you walk the right foot out, take the back knee down. Bring your weight out and over to the left hand. Look over your right shoulder, twisted monkey, pull your back heel in, reach to hold the back foot. Try to keep the hips high enough to bring the back heel close in to the outer sit bone. Slow release of the back foot. Make your way to the second side of twisted monkey. Left foot forward, hands to the inside, back knee down. Turn the front toes out about 30 degrees with the knee and with the hip. Bring your weight towards the right hand. Pull the back heel in. Work there, work for the reach. Work with the connection of the hand and foot. Tone and turn the torso, little back bend. Take the stages that work. One side, one pose at a time. Release twisted monkey, plank pose. Lower flat down to your yoga mat. Bend both knees. Next is bow pose. Reach your hands to grab hold of the top of your feet. Spread your toes. If you do not reach both feet at the same time, do one leg at a time, one reach at a time. Everyone, inhale and lift. Think of those first belly down back bends that we did, where we lifted everything that we could up away from the mat. Same work here. And slowly exhale, lower down. Place the hands, higher part of the chest, under the shoulders. Legs straight. Cobra, press down through the hands and the feet. Peel the chest up. Think shoulders up and back. Exhale, lower it all the way down. Press through child's pose. And then into downward facing dog. Side plank, bring your weight onto the right hand. Keep the hips high as you turn to the outer edge of the right foot. Stages, left foot steps forward for 2 feet on the floor still. Left foot can stack to the right. Remember the standing balance that we did. You can try grabbing hold of the big toe and working that same hand to big toe support from side plank. Go back to downward facing dog and switch to your second side. Balance on the left hand, outer edge of the left foot. Stage 1, step the right foot forward like a kickstand. Stay and work there. Or stage 2, stack the feet. Stay and work there. Or stage 3, hold on to the toes and lift the right leg. Go back to downward facing dog. Walk your right hand to the left side of your yoga mat so that your left hand and your left foot are off of your mat. Keeping right hand there, flip to the outer edge of your right foot and again, stack the feet for side plank. This time, step your left foot behind you to the other side of your mat. Wild thing, Kapha Vikrasana. Lift your hips up, lift the left hand high, up and maybe even over for a big back bend shape. Look down, bend both knees, and make your way back to downward facing dog. And then walk it on over, second side of your mat. So this is Wild Thing pose, really using the width of your yoga mat to help you balance and measure. Left hand, stack the feet, right hand up. Step the right foot behind you. Feet are on two sides of the mat. Lift the hips, right hand to the sky, or maybe even over towards the front of the mat. Bend both knees to untwist and maneuver your way back to full downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Pigeon Prep, bring the right knee behind the right wrist, heel towards the left hip. Walk your left leg back. Get as much of the front of your left thigh on the ground as possible here, and come down to your forearms. Pigeon Prep, be with the pose. Most poses in Yogahour move in, move out pretty quickly, giving us just a little more time in pigeon today. Come back to your hands. Lift the back knee, downward facing dog. Second side, left knee, left wrist, heel towards the right hip. Walk the back leg out to evenly distribute weight front to back, side to side. Stay down on the forearms or even on the forehead. Several breaths here. Again, come back to your hands, lift the torso, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank and lie flat down on your yoga mat. Sphinx Pose, set the forearms right underneath, the elbows right underneath the line of the shoulders, so the forearms down on the ground as well. The chest should be lifted here. Yogahour sequences are both built to be both doable and difficult. I find this next pose to be one of the more difficult. You can always stay right here in Sphinx Pose. To add the difficulty level, it's a deep quad stretch. Right heel towards your right sit bone. Take the left hand across, forearm across, so that you have still a good amount of support. Thumb on the big toe side. Spin the fingers around to bring the heel closer to the outer sit bone. Keep the torso lifted. Half frog pose. Always a slow release. Switch right forearm down, left heel towards the butt. Thumb on the big toe side of the foot. Great option to stay right here or pull it deeper in, heel towards the outer sit bone. We want the left knee straight back, left elbow straight up. And always a slow release from this pose. Back down to your belly. Second opportunity for bow pose today. Reach the hands back again. If not, reaching hold of both feet at the same time. Now you get to hold on to the second side. Lift up, bow pose. Exhale. exhale, lower down. Up dog. Just the hands and feet on the mat. Hips low, down and forward, chest up, shoulders up and back. Downward facing dog, lift the hips. Lower your knees, sit back on your heels for just a moment here in hero pose. Let it sink in. Deep breath out. Okay, change to sit on your butt. Extend your legs straight out in front. Archer pose, I'll face you. Reach to hold on to your right foot, bend the knee, and give it a few swings. In Archer pose, I want your right hand to hold on to the pinky toe side of your foot and pull back as far as you can. At the same time, reach the left hand to grab hold of that big toe. And release. Another way of coming into this pose, let's try it on the second side. Forward fold so the first two fingers and thumb around the big toe. And then lift just the left leg, pull the knee back like you're talking on the phone to your foot. And release. Come back up. This time we'll try to wear the first leg on top of our shoulder. Grab hold of the foot, hook it over your shoulder. Come just a little more forward on my mat. Place the hands down. Lean forward enough to get your butt up, back enough to get your heel up. Astha Vikrasana, 8 angle pose. We'll surely take a class to break down this pose later this month, during this month. Hold on to the second foot. Right now, you just see the shape and you do your best. Take in what you know. Come out of the pose, extend both legs out in front of you. Lean a little bit back. Think boat pose as you bring the feet up. Shift both arms to the left, lean onto your right hip, and then pedal everything for cosmic abs. Switch sides, pedal. Switch sides, keep pedaling. Try to go all the way, one hip, and then over to the second side. That's it for cosmic abs. Lie down onto your back. Support the hands underneath your butt. Legs straight up to the sky. Slowly lower the legs down until they're just a little bit above the ground. And back up. As the legs continue to move, find your comfort with the challenge here. We want our mid to low back to stay mostly against the mat. For more challenge, you change hands behind your head and even a crunch of the head and shoulders off of the mat. The slower our legs move, the more intense this pose becomes. We're done. Pull the knees into the chest, rock all the way up to a seated position. Change once more. I'm skipping a few things here. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. Stay Lying down, soles of the feet to your mat. Our bridge pose is next. Soles of the feet to the mat. Head, shoulders on the mat. Lift your hips up, interlace the hands underneath you. Roll the shoulders in. I'm doing my best to stay really true to the sequence that, in this case, Darren Rhodes has put together for us. Bridge pose. Release the hands, lower the hips down to the mat. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Figure 4, thread the needle. Take the arms to hold underneath the left thigh or on top of the left shin. Second side, left ankle over the right thigh, knee out to the side. Again, hold under the right thigh or on top of the right shin. Set both feet down. This time, take your right knee towards the right shoulder, but hold on, left hand to your foot. And then, like you're cradling a baby, pull the chest up and change to hold on around the forearms. Take your time to switch sides. Right hand to the left foot, rotate the hip out. You stay and work in any variation that will hold you for this pose. Release the pose. Now bring the knees into your chest and rock all the way up to a seated position. Come over to your knees in a kneeling position for camel. Feet flat on the ground for most difficulty. Tuck the toes to make that reach a little more doable. Hands to the hips, squeeze the elbows in, lift the chest. Reach back as evenly as possible to your heels. Keep the hips moving forward. Look up to the sky. Broad breath. Hands support at the sacrum to come back upright. Take child's pose. Knees a bit apart, big toes together. Reach the torso forward. From child's pose, garland pose, forward enough to tuck your toes. As if the upper body can still stay in child's pose, just bring the knees off of the ground. Work towards flat feet. Keeping your butt and heels close to one another, crane pose. You can lift the butt, lean your knees onto your upper arm bones, and then can you close the space again as you bring the feet off of the ground, heels towards your hips. Two feet on the ground, come all the way back down to sit on your mat. You've made it through all of the most intensive pieces of this Yogahour sequence 1. We're in towards our cool down, Cool down doesn't always mean easy, but it does mean start to give yourself a break. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. At least that's what I think of for cool down. Perhaps let the eye gaze be really soft and low or even closed during a good portion of this end of our practice. Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose, upright here. Release the pose, extend the legs straight out in front. Bring the right foot to the inner thigh of the left leg. Open the hips back a bit. Rotate the torso, reach towards the extended leg. One-legged forward fold. Come up out of the first side and switch to your second side. Inhale, come up. Again, both legs stretch out in front. Take the right foot in, cross it over. Pull the extended leg now, heel towards the outer sit bone. Front foot, both sides of the butt on the ground, sit up tall. Add a twist. Twist towards the right. Inhale to untwist. Extend both legs straight out. Second side. Left foot in and over. Right leg can stay out just like that. Or kick in. Add the twist. Again, on an inhale, untwist. Extend both legs straight out in front. Reverse table position. Soles of the feet on the mat. Take the hands about a foot behind you. Turn the fingers out to the side. Press down into your feet. Lift. Tuck the chin so that you're looking at the belly and thighs. Exhale, lower the hips. Do that one more time, most doable. More difficult, straighten the legs. And lift again, feet as flat on the ground as possible. Lower the hips. Dandasana, or staff pose. Sit with the legs extended, head straight up to the sky. Seated forward fold, reach to your feet and fold in. Nice even rounding of the back the whole way. And 2 more breaths in your seated forward fold. Just upright. And then come to lie all the way down on your yoga mat. As you lie down onto the mat, pull the feet in for a moment, give it a little squeeze. And then set the soles of your feet down to the mat as wide as your sticky mat and take the arms out to a T shape. Keeping the feet as wide as your mat, set both knees towards the right side. The left knee should be pretty close to the right foot. Keep it there or add right heel just on top of the outer left thigh. Double diamond, be here. Switch to the second side. And again, bring the knees to the center and pull the knees all the way into the chest and give yourself a very tight squeeze. A full minute here. Let your breath press in and out against the legs. As the minute progresses, start to release as much of a tight hold. Shavasana, lower the legs. Separate the feet about as wide as your mat. Let the arms rest out to the side, palms up. Give yourself the gift, allow yourself the gift of several moments here in Shavasana. I will close our practice together in a few minutes. Know that I am with you. Close your eyes. Let yourself release and relax here. Slowly now come back, attention to breath, attention to body. Make a little movement in the fingers and in the toes. Stretch your arms overhead. Big full reach. And then come all the way back up to a seated position. Once in your seat, long through the spine. Again, keep the eyes turned down or closed. Nice job. One pose at a time, one breath at a time. Makes one full practice. Join the palms together, thumbs to the sternum, in gratitude to yourself, in gratitude to the community of others you know are practicing with you. In gratitude for this practice itself. Let's sing the sound Om. It brings power to what comes next. And we'll conclude with Namaste. Okay. Take a breath in. Empty it out. Breathe in again. Namaste.